Hey folks, welcome back to AUTOTUNE Media, and for this episode, I will be taking you to a tour inside and outside this 2023 Toyota Fortuner GRS 4x4. And by the way, this car is for sale here in Ryan Autodeal. And so if you're looking for a quality used Toyota Fortuner GRS, you know where to go, here in Ryan Autodeal. And throughout our tour of this car, I will be spotting the subtle differences between this Toyota Fortuner GRS and the Toyota Fortuner Limited that we have reviewed about 5 months ago. The differences are mainly subtle, but you know, when you look at them, you'll see that there's quite a lot of aesthetic features that is different in this GRS and the Toyota Fortuner Limited. And so let's begin. And now let's get started with our exterior tour of this Toyota Fortuner GRS 4x4. And while I'm taking you to a tour of this car, as I mentioned, we will be spotting the differences between this and the limited Toyota Fortuner, which we have a review of already. So just click the link in this video to watch that Toyota Fortuner Limited full review. And so let's begin. And first, let's start with the overall look of this car. And as you can see, it is generally similar to that of the Toyota Fortuner Limited. They have the same headlight, they have the same black trim, and they have the same grille, right? But if you look closer, you will see that this Toyota Fortuner GRS has a different trim when it comes to the fog lamps of it. So they have the same small fog lamp here, but this one has this trim here, which is exclusive to this model alone. And you also have a GRS or a GR Sport badge in here, thus giving away a hint that this is a top spec Toyota Fortuner. And now, let us move on to the side. And as you can see, the main difference between this one and the Toyota Fortuner Limited are these plastic trims in here. The Toyota Fortuner Limited has a black plastic trim in here, whereas this one has a white plastic trim, which is the same color as its body. When you look closer, the wheels of this Toyota Fortuner Limited are also different. So this one has a more aggressive styling, whereas the Toyota Fortuner Limited has a bit of a luxurious, I would say, luxurious and a hybrid of sportiness to it. But this one, the way I see it, is very sporty. So these are 260/65 R18 highway terrain tires. And when you look closer, you will see that this one has red brake calipers, and it also has a GR badge in here. The same goes to the rear wheels. So the rear wheels of this car also has disc brakes, and as you can see, you have a red brake caliper in here too. Both this GR Sport variant and the Toyota Fortuner Limited have white door handles, and this one has an added rain visor as well with a GR Sport badging in here too. This one also has a black top roof, and if you'll notice, this one has a white Fortuner lettering in here, whereas the limited Toyota Fortuner has a blacked out trim in this portion of the car. And when you look upwards, you will see that the spoiler of this car is two-tone, right? So you have a black color in here, and you have a white color below it. And of course, instead of a limited badge, you have a GR Sport badge in here. This one has faux air diffusers in here, whereas the Toyota Fortuner Limited has a more smooth looking bumper. And that's about it. Those are the main aesthetic differences between the Toyota Fortuner GRS and the Toyota Fortuner Limited. Did I miss anything? If you guys know any other aesthetic elements that I missed in this car, in the exterior feature, kindly let me know in the comment below. And now let's move on to the interior of this Toyota Fortuner GRS. And first, let's start with its door panel. And as you can see here, this plastic trim on its door is blacked out, whereas the plastic trim of the Toyota Fortuner Limited has a color that is closer to aluminum. And the Toyota Fortuner Limited has a red leather panel in here, whereas this one has a blacked out leather panel in here. This one has subtle red stitches in here. And overall, they look similar but not quite the same. And now let's move on to the leather seats of this Toyota Fortuner GRS. And as you can see, you have a GR stitching in here, hence giving away that this is a top spec Toyota Fortuner. And as you can see, this is blacked out, whereas the Toyota Fortuner Limited's bucket seats are dual tone. If I remember correctly, the seats of the Toyota Fortuner Limited use two colors, so you have red and black, whereas this one only has black. Even though it has a monotone color to it, it has varying textures. So at this side, you have a suede leather in here, whereas at the center, you have also a suede leather material. But this one has small holes to it, and at the side of the seat, you have a smooth leather finish in here. And by the way, this leather is very thick. It has a very premium feel, and I bet this will last a very long time because of the material that they used in it. And as you can see, you have red stitching in here. This one has automatic switches in here instead of the manual levers that you can see in base model Fortuners. This one, similar to the Limited, they have these. And it's also the same over there at the passenger seat. And here's your passenger seat in the Toyota Fortuner GRS. It has the same premium material as that of the driver's seat. And when you look at the dashboard, the aircon vents in here are blacked out as well. You have thick leather material in here, and of course, red stitching. And as you can see, the button of the Fortuner here is also blacked out. Similar to this plastic panel in here, it's also blacked out. And the transmission tunnel of this Toyota Fortuner GRS has a carbon fiber finish to it, but I don't think this is real carbon fiber, whereas the transmission tunnel of the Toyota Fortuner Limited has a faux wooden finish. And they have similar buttons in here for your rear locking differential and for the different driving modes. This one is also a thick leather material. Of course, it has a handbrake in here, covered with a leather material here as well. Moving on to the rear passenger seats, you have similar thick leather material. I really like the material used in these leather seats. You'll know that they are made for daily use and that you don't have to be too gentle when using them, you know. And as you can see, you also have a GR badging in here. Over at this side, you have two charging ports, two USB-C charging ports over here. Unfortunately, even if this one is a top spec Toyota Fortuner, it still doesn't have aircon vents in here. And just like other Fortuner variants, you have aircon vents over here. And if you'll notice, this is a blacked out ceiling. This interior trim is blacked out too. And now let's move on to the compartment space of the Toyota Fortuner GRS. And this one is an automatic lifting tailgate, so you just have to press this button in here and it will automatically lift the tailgate. And when you open the tailgate, it will reveal a very spacious cargo space in here. In similar Toyota Fortuner fashion, these seats are not folded flat on the floor of this Toyota Fortuner, and instead they are folded upwards and you have to latch them over here. And to make these usable, you simply have to remove this latch, put them over here, and unfold them. And that's about it. And this one is where your spare tools are. And you have your spare tire over there at the bottom. And to close it, simply press this button and it will automatically close it. And now let's move to the driver's seat of this Toyota Fortuner to explore more about its interior tech features. And now we're sitting at the driver's seat of this Toyota Fortuner GRS, and to turn on this car, you simply have to press the brake and this GR badged start button will light up, and simply press it. And there you go. The car is now on. And now let's talk about the steering wheel of this Toyota Fortuner GRS. And this one also has a very thick and nice textured leather material in here. It has two textures in here. So you have a smooth leather over at the top, and this one is also a leather material with tiny holes on it. And at the center, you also have this red strip in here. Perhaps this one is, to give you a visual reference to know if the steering wheel is centered or not. When you move closer to it, you have your volume buttons and your arrows in here, mainly to control this infotainment system. And over this side, you have your buttons in here to control that driver dashboard. And as you can see, this one has paddle shifters, so you can drive this car manually if you want to, which comes in very handy if you're going uphill, downhill, or when you just want more fun out of your drive. When you look closer here, you have your separate lever for your cruise control. And matching the blacked out plastic trims in here, this one also has a blacked out faux aluminum trim in here, and of course a GR badge at the center. Zooming in to the driver dashboard, you have your tachometer, your speedometer, and your LCD panel at the center. And as I mentioned, you can use these buttons to cycle through different settings in the LCD panel in here, like so. And as you can see, you even have a display in here that shows when your steering wheel is turned. Very nice, huh? And as you can see, you have your odometer here, and this one hasn't reached 5,000 kilometers yet. So this one is fairly brand new, which you can also see at the freshness of its interior. And my favorite feature of this car is definitely the infotainment system. So this is the infotainment system of this Toyota Fortuner GRS. It has the same infotainment system as the Toyota Fortuner Limited in that they both use a JBL infotainment system. And this one being JBL, you can expect that this car has a very crisp audio quality, which I also already tried a while ago, and I can assure you that you will enjoy the sound quality inside this car. You have speakers here, over there, you also have tweeters in here, and of course you have more speakers over here at the driver's seat, the passenger seat, and at the rear doors of it. I cannot help but compare the sound quality of this car with my Toyota Fortuner. So I own a 2016 manual Toyota Fortuner, and I am pretty satisfied with the quality of the speaker in that car. And that one has, basic Toyota infotainment system, and it only has tweeters and these speakers in here. But overall, the sound of my Toyota Fortuner, the sound quality of it is very nice already. And the addition of these speakers, I already noticed once I fired up the sound system in this car. These JBL speakers are on a different level when it comes to sound quality. And if you're someone who enjoys listening to music like I do while driving, different genres of music, be it pop, rock, classic music, what have you, you will definitely enjoy the sound quality inside this car. And now let's move closer to the center console of this Toyota Fortuner. And of course, this one being a Toyota Fortuner, you have your aircon vents in here. What I also like about the center console of the Toyota Fortuner is that it's very properly optimized for you to reach everything you need, or every essential settings that you need when you're driving. And for me, the most essential setting is the air conditioning, and this one has a dedicated aircon panel over here. And by the way, this one comes with dual zone climate control, and so you can set different temperature over at your side when you're driving, and your passenger can adjust the temperature on their side as well. And below that, you have your four-wheel drive knob in here. So, you know, in daily applications, this one is mainly put in two-wheel drive high, and if you're going off-road, you can put it to four-wheel drive high or four-wheel drive low. Below that, you have a wireless charger over here, and so you only have to, you know, put your phone over here, and the charger will automatically sense it, and now my phone is charging. But if you simply want to put your phone in here without charging, you can simply press this button and it's no longer charging. So you can turn it on and turn it off. And over this side, when you press this panel, it will reveal two deep cup holders, perfect for your tumblers, for your bottles, or any kind of beverage that you have when driving. And what I like about Toyotas is that they really paid attention to the needs of the driver. Okay, basic as they may be, in their interior, the necessities you need when you're driving is, you know, already inside. And for me, my must-haves in a car are, of course, a good sound system and plenty of cup holders, which this one has. So you have two here, and you also have one here. Very nice. I love this feature of the Toyota Fortuner. I use this cup holder a lot. And of course, you also have a bottle holder here, which can hold 1 liter water bottles. And this one is an automatic transmission. And I also like the gated transmissions Toyotas use. It's very straightforward to use, right? You no longer have to press any button in here, and instead you simply have to press the brake lever and push it like so, and now you're in neutral, and another click is you're in drive. And to put it in sports mode, simply flick it over here, and now you're in sports mode, which you can use these paddle shifters or push this lever up or down. And if you want more relaxed driving, you simply have to put it in drive mode. And to put it in park, push it like so, and now you're in park. Below this transmission lever, you have your eco, your normal mode, and your sport mode, and you have your button for traction control and the rear locking differential. And when you put this Toyota Fortuner in reverse, it automatically activates its cameras. So you have your rear camera, and you also have your 360-degree camera over here. So the feed from the side of this Fortuner are coming from the cameras below those side mirrors. Moving here, you have your auto-dimming rear view mirror, which is very nicely designed too. It has a nice material to it, and unlike other variants of the Toyota Fortuner, this one is automatically dimmed when you have a bright light behind you, whereas in other Fortuners you have a lever in here which you can toggle up or down, similar to my Toyota Fortuner. And lastly, you have this one, your eyeglass holder, and of course you have your interior lights. Very elegant. And lastly, let's see how spacious this Toyota Fortuner is. So this is my sitting position. I like my sitting position to be a bit far from the steering wheel. I can stretch my hand, but there's still a slight bend to it. So this is my most comfortable position when driving. And now let's move on to the rear seats of this Fortuner to see how spacious it is. And by the way, for your reference, I am 5'9", and this is my sitting position. And when we go inside here, not much space in here. You know, you can't really call it spacious, but you know, there's still a few centimeters of allowance in here for me to move my legs. but definitely it's not spacious here. And I noticed that the rear seats of the Toyota Fortuner are slightly elevated compared to its front seats. And so when you're sitting in here, you are slightly higher than the driver. And when you look at the ceiling of the rear passenger seats, you also have access to more buttons in here. So passengers can adjust the fan speed of their aircon vents located here and over at the back. They can also toggle this one to automatically control the aircon vents, or simply push this one to turn it off entirely. And of course, you have your lights. And there you have it, folks, the 2023 Toyota Fortuner GRS. This one definitely looks very handsome, and for me it's the most handsome Toyota Fortuner in their current lineup. I like the subtle differences that it has compared to the Toyota Fortuner Limited. Subtle as they may be, they are very noticeable once you see them. And overall, I like the design of this car, especially the wheels, the red caliper brakes, the headlights, and the blacktop exterior of it. But definitely the highlight of this car for me is the JBL sound system. Man, I like good music when I'm driving, and this one definitely has that. And so if you guys are looking to buy a Toyota Fortuner GRS, you should definitely check this out here in Ryan Autodeal. This one is fairly brand new. It only has 4,000 kilometers on the clock. And that's it, folks. Do you want me to have a full review of this Toyota Fortuner GRS? If you want that, kindly leave a comment below. And see you next time, folks. Thanks for watching.